This morning we shall deal very briefly with the Muslim religion of Islam and its so-called sacred, of which there is nothing sacred about it, Quran. Of course, if we know our history, we know that this man called Mohammed, nobody copied his words. They didn't copy his words. And his words weren't inspired. Not unlike the Bible. The Bible is inspired. The Bible is the only word of God. There is not two words of God. Muhammad was not God. They treat him as a god, do the Muslims. But then they say, well, Allah is the God and Muhammad is his prophet. And yet, they treat the words of Muhammad as God. Oh yes, because God spoke through him. Well, that's making him God as a perfect man. Jesus Christ was perfect because he was God. Oh, very God. The Quran is made up of words that have been found, as we know, all over the place, in caves, in books, in what men have said that were around at the time. Anyhow, that is not why we're here. We're here to ask a question that Muslims cannot answer, fail to answer, refuse to answer, cannot answer. It is this. You say the Quran is a holy book, inspired. All right. Now then, this is what you say. But you tell me something. You have your Quran, one book. Is that right? Yes, it is. One book. But in fact, there are at least 6 Qurans. Tell me how you have at least 6 Qurans. Where is your center piece for Islam? Now, when we say center, we mean the foundation, okay, the principal foundation. You haven't got one. Christianity has. It's the 10 Commandments. Christianity, when you take away everything else that surrounds it, the foundation of Christianity is godly morals and ethics. It's the first table of the law of God and the second table of the law of God. It doesn't matter what people add to it or anything else. And the whole of the scriptures agree in one, that it's all about godly morals and ethics. That's Christianity. I am the way, the truth and the life, says Christ. You see? Back again. Truth, honesty is what Christianity is all about. Truth and honesty. And from that leads into ethical ways. Upright ways. That's Christianity. And when infidels and the like come and start criticising Christianity, we sit back and say, you have no clue, not a clue about what Christianity is, because Christianity is honesty. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not thieve. Thou shalt not commit murder. Thou shalt not make any graven image and bow down to them, not even bowing down to authorities, because it is wrong. Totally wrong. It's against honesty. It's against uprightness. It's against ethical behaviour. Now, where is the foundation for Islam? What is it? Where is its moral and ethical imperative? There isn't one. The highest religion and the only true religion is Christianity. Morals, godly morals, not man's morals, godly morals and ethics that challenge the world, because the world is ungodly and unethical. And Christianity challenges the world and feeds into the world godly morals and ethics, and the world takes them on. Indeed, is reminded, because it is in the conscience of the world, that godly morals and ethics exist within the conscience. Even a child of 2 will tell you on their faces when they've done wrong that it was wrong. Not Islam. Oh, even the children, young children, don't recognise right and wrong. That's been taken away from them. And increasing as this world proceeds forward, children are actually taught by so-called parents to dismiss right and wrong. And how do they do that? Simply by allowing the child to do wrong. Therefore the child accepts that there is no wrong, that the conscience is wrong. We're heading for the pit. The absolute pit. Now, we began with Islam. Let us concentrate on Islam. I was out in Birmingham, England, some time ago. I came across this setup in the high street, Islam. So as it is, I like to be a bit well, nice. Okay, so it goes along anyhow. I asked this fellow, he's all cheery, you know, all smiles, all welcoming. I asked this Islamist in this open air tent, could you possibly tell me what Islam did in the Middle Ages? What role it played? Well, that cheeriness fell, didn't it? You could hear it crash onto the floor. Oh dear, teapot and all, smack on the floor. He said, I don't know. I said, hang on a minute, hang on. You don't know what part Islam played in the Middle Ages? No. Well, Christians do. Oh, the whole tea set went out. Oh, I said, you know, Christianity is far better than Islam because it knows its history. And then he got so angry. He ran to this fella. He represented an imam, or he was an imam. He was all dressed in white. And, well, he come to me and he said, oh, can we have a word in quiet, in private? Come over here. I said, no. I said, what needs to be spoken needs to be spoken in the open. There's nothing to hide. Truth doesn't hide itself. It declares itself. We're in the streets and on the housetops. Truth is not afraid. Lies are. And they resort to dark places. No, thank you very much, and I'll ask you the same. What did Islam do in the Middle Ages? And he kept on, come this way. I said, nah. So I backed out, going backwards and saying this to him. And he said, oh, it's something about telling everybody. I said, it's my right as an Englishman to tell everybody that you're ignorant, or you're declaring to be ignorant of your own past, of what you did in the Middle Ages, of what this religion did in the mass slaughter of mankind, and that the Christians were better. And do you know, I got an applause after. But, you know, that was one way of shaming them. And I've done that quite often. And another way, but that's me, by the way. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that to everybody, but that's me, okay? I'm an individual. You are you, I am I am me, okay? Another way is this, and they're stumped, as they are with that one, is to kindly ask them, and that's the best way to do, just not being vociferous, not being angry, not being anything, just simply ask a question. And then you can say, well, if they come back contentious, I'm just asking a question. What's the problem? Scratch your head if necessary. What's the problem? I don't see the problem here. I'm just asking a question. And a fair, normal, reasonable question. Why are you getting upset? I want to know. Knowledge is a good thing. Oh, they just get, oh, they start shaking like a jackhammer. By heck. Because you say to them, well, can you answer me this this particular question? The Quran teaches that a female should be covered from head to toe. They may say, oh no, they can dress how they like. God is not interested in dress. All right. So that's what you say from your Quran. Now, there are Muslims walking around with the Quran, their Quran in their hands, physically in their hands, as you have. Okay? Metaphorically with you. And so, equally metaphorically with them. What we're saying is that each of you have got the Quran. Okay? And they're dressed from head to foot. And they say it's because the Quran tells them to do so. It is demanded of them. So you've got two Qurans. You see where this is leading. You say, what, about living in countries in peace? Oh yeah. We should live with within countries in peace. We don't preach murder of peoples of countries. All right, so that's what is in your Quran. Yeah, that's what's in my Quran. Right, so we've got. Let me see now. In your Quran, women can dress as they like, and now you're at peace. You're a religion of peace. However, on the other side, you've got these females dressed head to toe with their Quran, saying their Quran says they should dress this way. They equally will say, deaf to the infidel, that if you cannot find your genealogy within Muslim, as being a Muslim, death. So therefore you've got 4 Qurans so far. You say, well, what about the law of a country? Do you obey the law of a country, or do you want Sharia law? Oh no, we abide within ourselves with Sharia law, but we observe the law of the country. Right, so that's what your Quran teaches. Yep. Well, on the other side, okay, with the female dressed head to toe, calling for the murder of any person that is not a Muslim, and can trace their ancestry down to being a Muslim. Nobody could do that. They equally say Sharia law rules and should be brought into countries and established in countries and followed by countries. That's what their Quran teaches. So you got 6 Qurans. Which is the Quran? Which is the Quran? Tell me. You see, in the midst of it, you've got no morals and no ethics. It's just chaos and confusion. Christianity has these perverts coming along, and that's all they are. And they reflect themselves as perverts, bringing in a different version of the word, the settled word of God. And of course, they're there because of a decree of God to challenge us. But they've got all these different Bibles. They've got all these different interpretations of the Bible and their Bible. So you say, well, what's the difference then? Muslims are just the same. But they're not. We come back to the beginning, the foundation. You see, when all these people that have perverted the word of God, so to speak, okay, they said this means this and this means that, and it doesn't, okay, and they've got their own setup of Bibles, okay, you take all that away, we're back to the true Christianity. What true Christianity is, it's morals and ethics, it's honesty, truth, goodness, righteousness, holiness. That's where Christianity stands. Take away the 6 Qurans of Islam, where does Islam stand? You see, it's got no base. It's got no foundation. It's got a so-called man. It has not got morals and ethics. If it had godly morals and ethics, it wouldn't be Islam. Do you know the general Islamist in or should we say, outside the Middle East doesn't know where they are. They haven't a clue. They haven't a clue. One will say, I'm a Muslim, and they're half covered, and they've got trainers on, as they say. Trainers, sneakers, whatever you like. Yeah, trainers. Okay, in the West, it's trainers. They've got jeans. They've got the mobile phone. The faces are painted, and they're supposed to be Muslims. But stand them there and get one who is fully covered and put them by it. Who's the Muslim? Who's the Muslim? Here's a person that says, death to all except Muslims. Put them there. And get the other one who says, peace to all mankind. Put them there. Who's the Muslim? At the end of the day, they need to fight it out. They need to sort themselves out. And this is what we say to them. You need to sort yourself out. Before coming to us to preach against us, you first of all need to sort yourself out. Where is your foundational principle? They haven't got one, so they can't put it forward. We can. We can. And hopefully we live it. Righteousness, honesty, truth, purity, straightforward thinking, straightforward speech, simple, kind, considerate,